Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into something pretty fascinating, how intimacy and sexuality change and adapt throughout our lives.
Yeah, it's a big topic.
Huge. And our main guide here is Iris Krasnow's book, Sex After. It's packed with really candid stories from women, diverse perspectives on their private lives.
Very honest stuff.
Totally. So our mission today, we want to unpack some maybe surprising truths, challenge those old stereotypes, and really see how resilient human connection is.
Absolutely.
And look, this isn't just aimed at one age group. Krasnow's own research assistant, Nicole Glass, she was in her early 20s.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and she felt reading this stuff prepared her for anything in relationships. She called it arming herself for the weird and the wild stages. So really, this is for everyone.
It really is. I think there's just this universal curiosity about these things, right? Sex, intimacy.
Definitely.
And what's great about this book, it sort of acts like a guide.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter your age.
Ah.
Helps you think about choosing partners, navigating how things change.
How intimacy itself transforms, yeah. From being young right through to, well, your 90s, as the book shows.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Starting younger. What's really going on with youth culture today? Intimacy, dating.
Right.
We hear about this new free love, less traditional dating, more casual sex.
Uh-huh. The hookup culture?
Yeah, and one source even calls it the text-up generation. You know, quick messages to set things up. What's this whatever attitude really about?
Well, it's a definite shift. And kind of different from, say, the 70s sexual revolution.
How so?
This whatever approach today, it's pretty widely accepted. It's not some fringe thing. Stephanie, she's 26 in the book.
Okay.
She talks about this pride that no strings attached sex can be started by anyone, women included. Equal power in that first move.
Sounds liberating on the surface.
It does, but the emotional side,
Yeah.
it seems mixed. Some sources say women might have more negative feelings after hooking up than men. But kind of paradoxically, most college students still say they were happy after their last hookup.
That is a paradox. So it's not as simple as free love equals happy vibes for everyone.
Not at all. And then there are the risks, the hidden costs you mentioned.
Right. What about that?
Well, the public health angle is pretty serious. The American Sexual Health Association figures about half of sexually active people get an STI by 25.
Half. Wow.
Yeah. And HPV specifically.
Mm-hmm.
The CDC says something like 28 to 46% of women under 25 are infected. Millions of new infections each year.
That's staggering.
It is. And Jessica Bari, she works with young people. She observed something quite stark. A single guy, reasonably attractive, might sleep with 20 to 40 women by age 29.
40?
Yeah. Well, a woman might have around 15 partners by that age. So beneath that casual surface, there's a lot going on, physically and emotionally.
Okay, so with all this casual sex, you'd think maybe people are super confident, but it's not always like that.
Definitely not. You mentioned Rachel Hirons, the playwright.
Yeah, A Guide to Second Date Sex.
Right. She wrote that because she was genuinely shocked by the insecurities men shared about dating.
Men's insecurities, specifically.
Yes. It really pulls back the curtain on that whatever attitude, shows there's still a lot of vulnerability, maybe even anxiety underneath it all.
Interesting.
And this connects to something Dee, a woman in her 60s, said. Timeless wisdom, really.
What was that?
About romantic infatuation, how it's not biologically built to last forever. It has a shelf life.
Okay.
Her point was that familiarity, well, it can cool down that initial fiery romance. The spark changes.
So that's relevant even in these early stages. Hookups, first dates.
Absolutely. Understanding that passion transforms is key. Whether you're hooking up or you've been married 30 years, it's about building real, lasting connection beyond that initial rush.
Okay, so the journey definitely changes. We've touched on youth. But what happens when intimacy meets maybe one of life's biggest shifts? Parenthood.
Oh, yeah. That's a huge one.
The book gets really real here. Challenges new mothers face, postpartum anxiety, depression.
It's intense.
Carmen Calvo, for instance, described these terrifying visions of harm coming to her baby son.
Gosh.
And Christine Hall felt lost and incredibly irritable, even had dark thoughts like, I don't want to be here anymore.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And sadly, not uncommon.
And what's striking is the lack of support sometimes. Society expects bliss, right? But the reality can be so different.
Absolutely. And the physical side is huge, too. Childbirth itself.
Yeah.
Tearing, incontinence, body image stuff.
Yeah, Dr. Janet Schaffel mentions women worrying about how their partner sees their body afterwards.
Exactly. And Carmen also talked about resentment building up towards her husband,
Yeah.
feeling like the only one doing the caregiving.
That sounds draining.
Totally. Interestingly, the book mentions placenta therapy, placentophagy.
Eating the placenta.
Yeah, often encapsulated.
Yeah.
It's reported by some to help with energy and hormones, libido even.
Oh, okay.
But Christine Hall makes a really vital point. Intimacy isn't just about intercourse during this time.
Right. What else?
Supportive touching, caressing, really talking, connection beyond just the physical act.
That makes sense. So parenthood brings immense changes. But what about something even more disruptive, like a major trauma?
Yeah, the book goes there too.
Raquela Stevenson's story. Her husband, Derek, a Marine, lost a leg, TBI, PTSD from deployment.
Just devastating challenges.
How does that kind of trauma hit a couple's intimacy? What can we learn from them?
It's an incredible story. Raquela says despite everything, Derek's depression, anger, nightmares, even struggling to hold their daughter safely,
Unimaginable.
their marriage actually became surprisingly stronger than it has ever been.
Stronger.
They really focused on rebuilding connection. She mentions being out of the hospital, away from the military environment helped. Even their service dog, Zooey, helps manage Derek's anxiety.
Wow.
It suggests that true intimacy isn't about avoiding hardship. It's about how couples are forced to redefine everything. They found a deeper bond through that shared struggle and, well, radical acceptance.
That's profound. Redefining connection.
Yeah. And it's worth noting, too, Dr. Anthony Atala's research on genital regeneration for wounded soldiers. It highlights how crucial self-image and intimacy are for recovery.
Absolutely. Okay, so Raquela and Derek show incredible resilience. As relationships move into midlife, though,
Yeah.
new complexities pop up, right? Choices made, paths not taken.
The what is.
Exactly. Which brings us to Gina. She had this intense affair right before getting married, but chose what she called a settled life. The love that gave me a life over the best passion.
That's a heavy choice.
It is. And then there's Caroline's story. She talks about emotional adultery.
Ah, the non-physical affair.
Right. A secret, deep connection with someone else. But paradoxically, she said it woke her up sexually with her husband.
Okay, that raises a big question, doesn't it?
Totally. Can a secret emotional life actually help a marriage? Or is it always a sign something's fundamentally wrong?
The author kind of suggests people find their own answers there. It's such a personal, ethical gray area.
Deeply personal. But then you have Lisa Abrams. Her situation was much more public. Her husband's affair, addiction, serious illness, all came out.
That sounds incredibly painful.
She talks about humiliation, public exposure, this long, hard road through counseling.
Right.
But,
There's a but.
yeah, amazingly, their marriage became better and more intimate than ever because he showed such deep remorse and commitment.
Wow, that shows what's possible, even after immense betrayal.
It really does.
And it illustrates a key idea. Marriages with deep roots, with real loyalty underneath, can be rebuilt, sometimes stronger, more authentic even, after a crisis.
Like forging steel.
Kind of. And there's an interesting observation in the sources, too.
Yeah.
If couples make it past the first 20 years,
Yeah.
their chances of lasting go up significantly. Suggests navigating those first couple of decades, all the tests, really builds a resilient bond.
20 years is a milestone then. Okay, so some marriages endure, rebuild, but others don't. What about intimacy after divorce?
Right. Can be shattering, obviously.
But also freeing. The book mentions relief, release. Ingrid's story, for example, left a volatile husband
Okay.
and found, her words, incredible affirming sex with a married soccer coach. Her philosophy is basically, what the FK? Why not?
A certain kind of liberation there.
Definitely.
And her story probably resonates. People re-entering the dating scene. Kathy Meyer rebuilt her confidence after a sexless marriage. Monica navigated intimacy after divorce and a hysterectomy.
Meeting new ways.
Exactly. And Marge Coffey, a therapist, gives practical advice for women dating again, especially about dealing with potential male anxiety or ED.
What kind of advice?
Like maybe share your own nervousness to take the pressure off him. Create a more relaxed vibe.
That makes sense. What about the male perspective on dating after divorce?
Wayne, divorced in his 40s, shares his view. He notes a wide age range for partners he considers.
Okay.
Also mentions concerns about birth control, but then says the preferred route is often unprotected sex.
Oof, that's a red flag right there.
It is. He also has this theory that men want variety in technique, not necessarily variety in women, to keep things interesting.
technique over partners, huh? Interesting
It
theory.
is, but let's connect that preferred unprotected sex comment back to reality for a second.
Please do.
The CDC data shows STIs are significantly increasing among older adults, 55 plus, especially in retirement communities.
Really? In retirement communities?
Yes, syphilis, chlamydia, rates went up like 43% between 2005 and 2009 among that group. And seniors are living with HIV too.
Wow. So safe sex is crucial, always.
Always. And beyond just STIs, the whole definition of sexuality keeps evolving, doesn't it?
How so?
There's the Out Late documentary, seniors coming out as gay after years in conventional marriages, Linda's story of self-acceptance later in life.
Finding yourself at any age.
Exactly. And Dr. Gay Young talks about these subtle shades of gender identity beyond simple labels. And then you have Bon and Deb.
They're still
Finding soulmates later in life, really proving that intimacy, especially as we age, becomes much more about the mind and soul connection.
more of the mind than the body. I like that.
It's a recurring theme.
Which is really relevant when we think about inevitable physical health changes, right? Like breast cancer survivors.
Yeah, huge challenge.
Sophia Mahal's Heather, they talk about body image concerns. Reconstruction is massive for them. Even artists like Vinny, the nipple guy.
A nipple guy.
Yeah, does incredibly realistic 3D nipple tattoos to help women feel whole again.
That's amazing work. And Dr. Lorraine Caffra, the oncologist, she really reinforces that message.
What message?
That the mind, not the body, is a woman's most responsive sex organ. It's about mental resilience, adapting, redefining sensuality.
The mind is key. Okay, what about menopause, another universal passage? The old myths were all about decline, right?
Pretty much, but the reality is way more complex. Lynn, for instance, was actually content with a sexless marriage because sex was painful. She used dilators to manage that.
So acceptance for her.
Right. But then Eileen felt intense frustration with her husband's ED caused by meds for his obesity. So, very different experiences.
Totally different. What help is out there?
Well, Dr. Andrew Goldstein works on female sexual dysfunction. He talks about new drugs, sometimes called female Viagra for low desire or arousal issues,
Okay.
but also stresses treating underlying physical causes like painful skin conditions of the vulva. And Dr. Gloria Bachman advises against unnecessary vaginal rejuvenation, pushing for celebrating natural diversity instead.
Celebrating diversity, not chasing some ideal.
Exactly. And then you get timeless advice mixed in. Dr. Ruth says older people should take their time, not compare themselves to youth.
Makes sense.
But Dr. Marilyn Charwat has that use it or lose it philosophy, suggesting activity itself is beneficial.
So maybe a balance? Okay, let's talk male ED, erectile dysfunction.
Right. Dr. Soloway mentions common causes. Hardening arteries, venous leak, medications.
It's the usual suspects.
Yeah. And treatments range from vacuum pumps to implants. He even mentions the stamp test.
Stamp test, what's that?
Yeah, apparently it's a simple, old-school diagnostic. You put a ring of postage stamps around the penis at night. If the stamps are broken in the morning, it indicates nighttime erections occurred, suggesting the cause might be psychological or stress-related rather than purely physical.
Huh, clever.
What's really important, though, is that men, even into their 80s, still want to be sexual. That desire often remains, even if penetration isn't the focus or isn't possible.
The desire is still there.
Definitely. And there's also pressure on men, too, from porn, about body image. The book even mentions the Icelandic Phallological Museum.
The what now?
The Penis Museum. Maybe seeing the natural variety there could help men feel less insecure compared to unrealistic media images.
Maybe so. Perspective is everything. Okay, finally. Vicky's story. Spinal cord injury.
Such a powerful one to end on.
After her accident, she was terrified. Never be wanted, never be intimate again.
Understandable fears.
But she chose to have a natural birth. 2 involuntary pushes, she said. And she found what she calls true intimacy with her husband, Bill. A connection completely beyond the physical limits.
A soul and mind connection, she calls it.
Yeah. She says sex ebbs and flows for them, but that deep intimacy, it endures. It just proves connection can overcome almost anything.
It really does. And what's so striking, looking at all these stories together, is just how adaptable human intimacy is, how resilient. It's not about hitting some perfect standard.
The old standard.
Exactly. It's about how people navigate life's changes, how they redefine connection again and again.
Yeah, that's the big takeaway for me, too. This whole deep dive just screams resilience, adaptability. There is absolutely no single normal when it comes to sexual relationships.
Not at all.
Embracing that fluidity, being open to different kinds of connection, and just honest, compassionate communication. That seems key.
Absolutely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, Intimacy really does seem to be about the mind and the soul connecting. It's fundamental, a vital part of life that, well, it never has to stop evolving.
It never has to stop. So let's leave you with this thought. What really stands out to you from today's deep dive? And how might embracing that fluidity, that open communication, redefine intimacy in your own life, whatever stage you're at?